My granddaughter Lauren loves ghost stories. And when she came to Kentucky, she wanted me to take her to the place that was the most scary of any place I knew. So we went out to the old Salem graveyard in Callaway County, Kentucky. And while we were out there late in the afternoon, somehow Lauren misplaced a bracelet. She had been playing with an old frog out by the grave of a woman named Maggie Potter, who was born in 1882 and died in 1900. She was only 18 years old. So we came home. She didn't know she'd lost her bracelet, and she was upstairs and gone to bed, and she was having trouble going to sleep. And then what happened, Lauren, when you were asleep or going to sleep?
Well, I just couldn't go to sleep, and I usually never have trouble falling asleep. But I realized that I didn't have my bracelet.
And that was a bracelet that Lauren had gotten in Turkey. We had gone to her uncle's wedding, and this older woman who had a beautiful gold bracelet, and the bracelet had an evil eye on it that looked like this, Lauren. Show them it looked like that.
That's the evil eye.
And the bracelet was gold, and she had lost it. And I said, Lauren, we had to, surely we lost it out at Old Salem Graveyard, and we'll run back out there and see. And it was midnight. It was late, and the moon was out, and but the moon was not full. And so we went out to the graveyard. Both of us were very, very concerned, and we were scared. But we went out there, and sure enough, we found the grave where Maggie Potter was buried. And there was the bracelet. The bracelet was on her, right on her grave. And so we picked it up, and we brought it home, and Lauren put it back on, and she went to bed and went to sleep. And then after she went to sleep, she had to go back to Baltimore the next day. So she and her mother and father and her sister Natasha all got on a plane in Nashville and flew back to Baltimore. And then the next night, Lauren went to bed again, and she couldn't sleep. And she told me, she told her father that I can't believe it, but my bracelet is gone again. I don't know where it went, and I don't know. So her father called me back in Murray, and he told me what had happened, and I said, Don, I can't believe it. We got that bracelet. We brought it home. He said, I know we did. I saw it. And he said, it's gone. I said, that can't be. There's no way that can be. And so I thought, you don't reckon. So I went out there again to Maggie Potter's grave, and there that bracelet is on her grave. And man, that is more than I can believe. So I called my friend. I have a friend named William Potter, and he lived in Mayfield, and I asked him, I said, did you ever know a Maggie Potter? He said, sure. That was my Aunt Maggie. That was my grandmother's sister. And said she died at a very young age. And he said, I know that. Said they never knew why she died. It was sort of strange. And I said, well, okay. And I told him what had happened. He said, well, that's bizarre. I have no idea. In 30 minutes, he called me back. He said, you know what? That bracelet you talked about, my mother always told me the story. My grandmother always told me the story that Maggie Potter had a beautiful bracelet that was given to her by her mother, and her mother died. And Maggie's father remarried, and she had a very evil stepmother. And while Maggie Potter was lying in the funeral home, that stepmother slipped in and took that bracelet. And so they buried her without the bracelet. And I couldn't believe it. The spirit of Maggie Potter seized that bracelet. And when Lauren laid her bracelet on that grave, it was the first time in 110 years that Maggie Potter had been close to a bracelet that was laid on her grave. Old Salem Cemetery, Murray, Callaway County, Kentucky.
And that's my story.